How are you doing today?
Good, how are you? I love your background.
Look, I'm loving this look, okay? You are giving me a beat face. You are giving me hair and color. I am so here for it. You look gorgeous.
Thank you. I'm in Toronto and it's snowing and my kids are downstairs homeschooling, so I had to do something.
Look, I feel it. And then the light is just glowing on you perfectly. I just want your setup. I'm just saying.
Thank you. Sure.
I'm so happy I get to chat with you today because I want to get your take on where we find Rita's headspace in the season. And especially when we're grappling with so many different themes of trauma and
Mhm.
how different people process it throughout the course of the season. Can you just give us an insight into where we find your character's headspace at the beginning of the season?
Well, right when season 4 opens up, it's like weeks after she just left Gilead with that plane full of kids. And so there's a certain fragility to her this season that we haven't seen before. She is thrilled and grateful to have freedom, but also misses the routine of Gilead, misses the fact that she had sort of a family unit, a household purpose. And so I think, at least until the middle of the season, Rita's incredibly lost. And not to mention processing the trauma of what happened to her and what she had to witness in Gilead, also just not knowing what to do going forward with the rest of her life.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting because we've experienced some of the characters over the seasons who have found refuge in Canada, but we've seen them all experience what reassimilating into this new life, what that means for them. And I
Mm-hmm.
really wanted to ask you because it feels as though Rita um, has a more silent type of change or reaction, that she's fighting more of an internal battle than what we can actually see her displayed through her emotions throughout the season. Can you speak a
Yeah.
little bit more about that?
Well, I think that that's classic Rita. Although this season, you hear her voice a little more. She still works very, very internally in processing things. I think that she feels confused and guilty because she is a religious woman. You see her in a really nice moment alone eating a meal. She still prays before every meal and gives grace. And um, I think she feels guilty for feeling so lost and having no one to talk about and having no one to talk to and no one to sort of help her go through this, which is why when she is united with a young boy who was also on the plane, it helps her remember the good parts of her old life while existing in Canada. And that's really a pivotal moment for her in helping her to sort of move forward and embrace the idea that she might be able to survive in Canada.
I think it's interesting that you brought up that Rita is a religious woman. And it's interesting because there's something that's said in the season about how these characters, but most importantly, our villains, how they cling to religion in times of fear and how that can be our refuge, or how people can use that to really continue to inflict pain or violence amongst one another. And I
Yes.
really want you to speak towards, do you feel that Rita is conflicted in her religion?
No, I don't think that she's conflicted. I think she's conflicted on how she feels people should be punished. There's an interesting moment where she confronts Fred, and I think a lot of fans would have wanted to see her pop off or hit somebody. Not saying I don't want to hit somebody, but I think that she doesn't feel it's necessary to punish him herself because she knows that he will have punishment enough. I think that she really leaves a lot of things up to faith. And so I don't think she's confused. I think she thinks other people are confused.
But Rita, she might not have popped off. She was giving me a little hint of petty though with
Yeah,
Fred.
no, I know.
Give me
Good,
a little ounce of petty. That's what I live
good,
for.
good. So do I. So do I. Graceful petty. All above board, but a little.
What? I'm going to use that graceful petty. Thank
That's
you for that.
all.
Thank you for that word today. But most importantly, I feel like a lot of the characters have a reckoning of independence. And we
Mm-hmm.
see that in Rita, especially when she gets to have this conversation with Fred and other people. I'm not going to spoil it. But how do you feel that she, going throughout the rest of this season, how will we be able to see her really reclaim her independence back of who Rita truly is at her core?
Well, physically, I love the change in wardrobe. At the beginning, I was really involved with wardrobe because I still wanted her to be covered from head to toe. She hadn't worn pants in a decade. And so as you see her evolve and start to assimilate back into sort of a modern Canadian society, she starts to even take on the clothing or the costumes of the people that surround her. She also, I can't spoil it, she's able to say no more. She's able to say no and remember her old voice and learn how to say no. Just because she was asked to do something, she's able to assert herself a lot more, which is lovely to see.
And how has portraying Rita these past couple of seasons, how has it changed you as a person and also too as an actress?
I did a mostly comedy before Handmaids. It was my second drama that I had been a part of, and so I'm just used to doing comedy. So it really forced me to become a lot more understated, and then having not a lot of dialogue to support me and being able to sort of tell audiences what I'm going through by using the lines. I had to use body language and facial expressions and little tricks. And so as an actor, it's been the greatest gift to learn these other tools that you don't necessarily just lean on the dialogue. So much communication is nonverbal. And so I've loved that. And then as a person, it has really grounded me and given me a lot of that graceful pettiness. I needed that.
Yes, graceful Betty. We all need it. Well, Amanda, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me. I can't wait for everyone to see your journey in this season. And I hope you keep slaying and you have a great rest of your day.
You're welcome. You too, honey. Thank you.
Thank you.